Hey everyone, in this video we will learn why we need to use environment variables for a data science project and how do we do that. So for example, you want when you're trying to wrangle data or trying to get data from multiple sources, you might have some credentials, access, logins and passwords, and you don't want to store them in your Python code because when you do a commit, it might become accessible via GitHub. So you want those details sitting in your machine but not accessible to other people. You could use environment variables for that. So we'll just learn as the first step how to use those environment variables. So you use a package called .env, and from that .env package, you import find.env and load.env. And we'll also use a package called os, so you might want to install them before we go ahead. And I've got this environment file. So let me open the environment file. And I've set my Kaggle username and Kaggle password. And in the next videos, we will learn to use this login credentials and passwords to connect to Kaggle and download the dataset. Don't worry, this is not my actual credentials, so don't try to use them. They won't work. But this is just for example. So I've got the environment path. Let me comment out everything else. So here, as a first step, what I'm doing is I'm importing find.env, load.env, and os. And so what I do is I will set the environment path to find.env. So what this will do is, I'll just show you. So my Python file sits in, my Python code sits here. And when I run this environment path find.env, what it will do is it will look for the .env file here. If it doesn't find that here, it will move a level up and search for .env in all the files and folders. And if it doesn't find it, it will keep moving a level up. So let's just run this. And when I run this, I'm essentially doing this. I'm saying find.env. I'm storing it in a string, and then I'm just printing it. So it's telling me that my env file sits here. So this is the path. And the next step, what I'll do is I will say load that .env file, and it will load it. After that, what we will do is we will just say in the environment, in the env file, find where you find Kaggle username and give me the string associated with that. So it will give me Anicca, and for the password, it will give me awesome12345. So let's just run that. We'll print this, see what it's loading. So if I run this now, you can see it's showing me Anicca, and it's loaded the associated variables. Let me just remove this and rerun this. And you can see it will, when it does run, see it grab those changes for us. So essentially what the environment file will contain is your secret information or your logins and passwords, which you load during the fly, but you don't want them going into a GitHub repository when you do a commit. Now, how do you prevent this one getting committed onto a repository? So there's a file called gitignore, and this gitignore file sits here. So this is my gitignore file. I'll open this in Notepad. And you can see it's opened the gitignore file, and I can just say .env, so I can add the name of the file. And when I'm committing, it will not push it into a GitHub repository. Now we will use these credentials later on to do data wrangling and getting data from Kaggle. But I hope you find this video useful, and thanks for watching this video. And it does help you. Please do subscribe to my channel and like my videos if you enjoy what I'm doing. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.